So this is going to be order topology, one special class of example. And that's, I find that usually students have a lot of problem. That's because the exams are not emphasized. Only abstract definition is given, and then you are left on your own. Okay, but it's very easy. In fact, I don't think there are a lot of interesting things about it in some sense. Okay, there are some one or two. Okay, I will come to that. Okay, so let X be, as usual, I will assume it's a non-empty set. I will not write it. And I hope all of you know what is an order. First, I hope all of you know what is a relation. By relation R is very easy. It's a just subset of X cross X. Yeah, that's it. Nothing more. Then I say X is related to Y, or I will write X.
Sir,
oh, I have not shared.
This
Yes. I had forgotten. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Right. Are you able to see that? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So X is any set. A relation R is just a subset of X cross Y. Okay. You write X is related to Y. I read it as X is related to Y or X or Y if this is the definition. The ordered pair X comma Y belong to R. Okay. So we usually use some similar notation. The one of the standard ones which you are going to use today is, let us take my set X to be R. Okay. And the set, the relation, this is R is called the relation. That is okay. Let me assume that is 0 to infinity, so that I will have only that picture. And this is Y equal to X line. This is the X direction. This is a Y direction. So this is my subset. Okay, everything above the line, strictly above the line. Okay, so my R is this. Do all of you understand what is my R? Everything which is strictly above this line. Now, do you see what is a familiar relation? Yeah, if I have a point here, X comma Y, what do you know about the relation between X and Y as real numbers? Do all of you know that? Quick, say yes. Only one? X is above this line. What does it mean? Suppose I have a point here, call this point as A comma B. What can you say about A and B? This is my A and this is my B. Only one. Yeah. Come on, I want all of you to think and say yes. If you are not thinking along with me, and if you don't give the answer quickly, then I may not be able to do much in math in this 1 hour. It will be about 75 minutes. If you want to learn something better, you should cooperate. Yeah. Swaroop, what is the relation between A and B? If AB belongs to R?
One of them is positive.
Both are positive. I'm in the first quadrant.
Yes, sir.
B is greater than A. B is greater than A.
Yeah, A is less than B. Right? You see that? Yeah. How many of you see it at least now? Now that the answer is given. See, anything above this, for example, let's look at the simplest case, like take here and a point here. Is it on this line? Now you can see the Y, the coordinates beams very much bigger than the X coordinate. See, you should learn how to look at some simple examples. What you are doing, this is what teachers don't teach. You simply look at it, keep staring at it, you think you will get the answer. You should not. What you should do is take a single point or try to understand. I took AB almost like a diagonal thing. That's why, whereas if I take this B, you can see. You follow that? So for this A, if I take in B somewhere here, then you would know. I very deliberately chose a b which is slightly bigger than a, not much. Anyway, so this is the relation. Okay. Now we want to say an order, a total order. Or linear order. Some books call it linear order. Okay. On a set X is a relation with the following property, that if you give me a ordered pair x comma y in x cross x, okay, one of them belong to this. Either x equal to y or x comma y, y comma x belong to R. One of them. Either this happens or this happens. Okay, this is the first condition. We will explain. Do not worry about this abstraction. We will quickly look at easy examples. And x comma x is never in x cross a, in R. Sorry, in R. Okay, that is the diagonal line as I draw in the above thing is not going to be there. The third thing is, if you tell me x, y is in R and y, z is in R, okay, then x, z must be in R. The easiest way to do that is looking at examples, right? So let us take x equal to R natural numbers, R, z, R, q. Okay, I will give some more examples later, right? Now my relation R is just less than relation. You understand this? So that is my R. When I say x, y belong to R, if and only if x is less than y. That is my relation. Do you understand this relation? Now do you see that? If you give me an ordered pair x, y, either x equal to y, okay, or x, because of real numbers, natural numbers, z and q, either x must be less than y or y must be less than x. That in that case, the first case, x, y is in R. In the second case, y, x is in R. How many of you understood this? Quick. You have to be fast. Okay, it's not your standard classroom where you take notes. Okay. I want you to think along with me. That's a primary criterion to be in my class. Okay. Now do you also see x comma x is in R, not in R, because that would mean x must be strictly less than x. That's false. Right? And what is the third condition? If xy is in R and yz is in R, I hope that's what I wrote, right? Yeah. That should imply xz is in R. What does this mean? Xy is less than R. According to us, it is if only if x is less than y. This means y is less than z. Therefore, x must be less than z. That implies xz is in R. So do you understand these three conditions? Quickly go through that. Whenever you have a total order, this is the example you should have in mind. Our ordinary less than relation. Okay. What are the conditions? If you give me an A ordered per xy, either x must be equal to y, or okay, x is less than y or y is less than x. The second condition says x is never less than x. That is, x is not in R. Third condition is if x is less than y and y is less than z, x is less than z. We write it in terms of abstraction. If xy belong to R, yz belongs to R, then look at the third pair xz that belongs to R. How many of you understand? Quick. I'm clearing everybody. How many of you understand? Say yes again. Right? Okay. Now I'm going to give an example. You tell me whether it's a total order or not. Okay. Let x be set of all real polynomials. No, not x. Okay. Set of all real polynomials. Okay. Now what is my set? My set is going to be x, which is P of n, collection P of n, n in n. Okay. So that Pn is the set of polynomials of degree less than or equal to n. Do you understand this? X itself is a collection of sets. Each element of x is a set of all polynomial, is a set of all polynomials of degree less than or equal to n. Do you have an obvious relation between elements of x? Suppose I have an x1 and I have an x2 or x comma y here. You do have an obvious relation x less than y? How many of you can think of? Quick. Yeah, Nandini. Quick, Nandini.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, here, since all are less than degree n, obviously x1 will be less than x2, sir.
So, right. No, not x1. I'm just giving any two elements. Suppose I give one x may be some pm, another y may be pn. So what kind of relation you should think of? You're
Sir,
right.
Pn is less than pm, sir.
You don't know anything about n and m, Nandini. I never said what are n and m, except they are natural numbers. I did not give you any relation. Yeah, you are right on the right path, but I want you to think carefully. This is what you are never given a chance in your classrooms. Okay, my x may be pm, all polynomials of degree less than or equal to m. Y may be my pn, all polynomials of degree less than or equal to m. So what kind of relation you would like to have?
Sir,
Degree of PM may be less than degree of PN.
Yeah, not pm is there is no degree of pm. Pm is a set of all polynomials.
Containment relation.
That's right. Containment relation. I say x is less than y if pm is strictly contained in pn. That means, in other words, n is strictly greater than m. You see that? Okay, this has all polynomials of degree less than or equal to n, and this has all polynomials of degree less than or equal to m. So if m is strictly less than n, then pm is contained in pn. How many of you understand? See, learn to think. See, what you are usually given in mathematics is verification. They never allow you to create something. Okay, that's why you have problem. Okay, have you understood this? Sure. So actually, this is a transfer of the thing. I have from natural number, I have the usual standard less than relation. I have this collection Pn. So for each n, I'm looking at Pn. So the order is, if m is less than n, Pm is less than Pn. Okay, it's a cheating, but actually it is different. But the only thing it differs is looking at the containment relation, as somebody pointed out. So how many of you understood this? Quick. Okay, very good. Now, there is a law of trichotomy. You know, in real analysis, what is called law of trichotomy? If you give me two numbers, either x must be y, or x is less than y, or y is less than x. And one of them happens, and only one of them happens. Right? Do you see that? That's what we have written. So if x, okay, x, I will write it only this way. This is a totally ordered or linearly ordered set. So this is a total order. The ordered pair is called totally ordered set. I will, okay, or linearly ordered set. Okay. Then law of trichotomy holds. That is, you give me x and y in x. Okay, either x equal to y, or x is less than y, or y is less than x. Exactly one of them happens. Can you see that proof? I just want you to think comfortable, so that, you know, later when we left and right, we use all these notions, you should know. So what is the condition? You see that? The first condition says either x equal to y. In that case, okay, I had already proved it. Okay, then xy or yx must be in R. Right? Now, can both of them be in R? Suppose you assume, okay, suppose x equal to y, fine. Right? You follow that? Okay. Suppose x is not equal to y, then xy and yx, one of them must be in R. That is, x is less than y or y is less than x. Can both hold? Let's look at the third condition. Third condition says if x is less than y and y is less than z, then x is less than z. So what will I have here? If x is less than y and y is less than x both hold, this would imply x is less than x. That means xx is in R. That's a contradiction. Do all of you understand this, quick?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now you don't have to say orally yes, sir. Just click yes or no. That's good enough for me. Okay. Now, so let x this be a totally ordered set. I usually use the word totally ordered set. Nowadays, many people use linearly ordered. Okay, it's up to you. Okay. Now, suppose A and B are real. A and B are two elements of x. Then I want to define various intervals. A, B, and AB. How many of you know how to define this? Think of them as real numbers, then you know how to define. How many of you can do that? Quick. Yes, Sagarika, you should raise hand only if you want to ask question. Okay. If you want to say yes, you should say yes. Okay, Sagarika, tell me.
Sir, open interval AB is set of all points.
Yeah.
X.
Then you should say only yes. Okay. Don't say raise hand. Raise hand is only if you want to stop me and ask me some questions or doubt. Okay. Or if you want to correct me if I made a mistake. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Use only yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Sir, open it.
no, you don't have to say no. I'll call out somebody. Sahil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It should be a subset of x. Remember,
Yes,
any subset of x should always start with set of all x in capital X with some property. What are the properties? You see that even real analysis is bad, right? Yeah. Yeah, Sagarika, can you say, since you kept raising your hand? Let me ask.
Sir, AB open interval is set of all points X
Huh.
belongs to X such
Huh.
that A less than B. Sorry, A less than X less than B.
But what is A less than X less than B? What is the meaning
Less
of this
than B.
statement?
Sir, means all the points X which are greater than A and less than B.
Greater than A, we have not yet used that word, right? You see
Yes.
that? This is how you try to become precise, right? Have I defined greater than? If x, y belong to R, I only said I will say that x less than y. This is a notation. And I will read it as x less than y. I have not defined greater than. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir. So, sir, either A less than X or X
either
less than B.
either
A less than X
Hmm.
or X less than B.
R less x less than B. That's very interesting. So let us look at it. Okay. Let me look at 0, 1. Let us take 2. This is my A, this is my B, this is x. Right? Therefore, A
Yes,
less
sir.
than x is true. Therefore, 2 must be here, right? According to you, you said either A is
No,
less than
sir.
x or, yeah?
No, sir. It will be and.
Huh? It will be?
It will be and means
Yeah.
A less than X and X less than B.
Now, do you see that how much of mathematics is lacking? Please look at my foundation lectures. You will realize this. A is less than x and x must be less than b. In short term, we will write it like this. But this short term means two things. A is less than x must be true and x less than b must be true. Both the conditions must be true. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Very good. Now, can somebody tell me the second? There are 3 and 4. I will omit. Okay. Somebody tell me. Okay. Let me do 3. Somebody tell me 3. Quick. It is set of x in x such that what happens?
Such that A is less than X or
No,
X is
look. This is a closed A.
sir, that is why I am saying A is
Yeah.
less than X or X is equal to A
Yeah,
and
so okay, keep that first, say that, or if X is less than A, okay, then the second condition I don't worry about. You understand that? Either this
Okay.
statement will be true or this statement must be true. What is the other statement? Now you say that. A less than X
A is less than X.
and X is less than B. Do you understand this?
Yes.
See, I want you to think logically also, because these are the things, just like that, somehow you will learn how to work with it. That's it. But precise definition, logical thinking is missing. That's why you have problem. You understand? So let us look at a new notion. When I say A is less than or equal to B, this means either A equal to B or A less than B. So I can use this here. Okay, A is less than or equal to B, and sorry, A is less than or equal to X and X less than B. You understand this? A less than or equal to X is one condition it should satisfy. That is either X must be equal to A or A must be strictly less than X and X must be less than B. Just I want you to think, don't get confused. It's all what you know from your high school days. Except you never thought carefully, you just learn how to work with it. That's it. For example, you did not even know just few minutes ago whether to say and or or. How many have understood this? Quick. Okay, very good. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. So what are the examples I want to look at of totally ordered set? The first thing is, of course, R. And the second thing is N or Z or Q. Okay, these are all okay. But I will concentrate on these two. And then there is another thing. Let us just look at. All of you know how to look at English dictionary. Do you? Yes or no? If I give you a word, if you don't know that word, you know how to look it up in the dictionary, right? English dictionary. Suppose I say absent and act, which one comes first in the dictionary? Absent comes or act comes? Those who say act comes first, say yes. No, I don't want to hear the answers, please. I want everybody to think. Those who think act comes first, say yes. If you think no, say no. I'm clearing everybody. Those who think act comes first should say yes. You know how to do that, right? So how do you do that? And suppose I say between act and basis, which comes first? Act. So you first look at the first letter and compare. In the English alphabet, A comes before B, therefore in the dictionary it comes here. Now, suppose both start with the same letter, then look at the second letter and try to see. B comes first in the English alphabet, C comes. Therefore, this will come first in the dictionary. All of you know this. I'm just saying that. Once you understood, now suppose X is a totally ordered set, right? On X cross X, can you define an order? You have to learn carefully. So I have, let me give, okay? X comma Y, this is an element, and A comma B is another element. Then I want to say X comma Y, then I have to define this, A comma B. How do you think I will define? I will define as dictionary order. I will think of this as the word XY and the word AB. Then I will say whether X comes before A, that means X is less than A, or if X equal to A, then I will say whether Y comes before B, that is Y is less than B. Do you understand this? How many of you can write down the definition? I'm clearing everybody. So I say X is X less than Y is less than AB if, okay, either X is less than A. I don't care about Y and B now. Do you understand that? Like here, when you gave me act and basis, C comes later than A, but I never worried about the second letter. I only worried about the first letter. Do you understand? That's why I chose this word. Yeah. So if x is less than a, then xy is this ordered pair is less than the ordered pair AB. Or if x equal to a, then I want y to be less than b. Do you understand this? How many of you understand? Go back to this one. If a and b, then I will look at only the first thing. If the a is less than b, then this comes first. And let's look at this. A, both are equal, then I look at the second one. Whoever comes first will be less than this. Quick, what is there to understand? This must be easy. Huh? I see only about 6 answers. If you are unable to think along with me, I think then you should not opt for my course. Because I will be on the lookout, and those who are regularly slow or don't answer will not be allowed later. Okay, I am very strict about these things. Okay. Abeg, Akanshu, Akila, Keka. Now let's look at x equal to r with the standard topology. Therefore, let me look at r cross r. Right. Now let me look at, okay, 1 and -2 and 0 and 10. Which is bigger, which is less than the other? How many of you know the answer? Quick. You see that all your problem is not even understanding the basic relations, only again 5 and 6. I think the others should leave. Okay. If you don't want to answer, if you are unable to think in the class, I think you should leave. It's a waste of your time. When the video is uploaded, you can watch it. You should learn to think along with me, because this is one thing which is never encouraged in your classroom. The teacher expects you to only take notes. Abeg, Akanshu. Can you answer something? Abeg? Akankshu. Akanksha, right? I don't know how to pronounce. Akanksha.
No.
Are you able to follow or you don't follow? Keka? So let's look at 0. First letter I have to look at first coordinate. This is 0, this is less than 1. Therefore, this is less than 1 minus 2. Look at that. 10 is much bigger than -2, but I don't care. The moment the first coordinate is less than the second coordinate, this. Whereas if I take something like 1 minus 2 and 1 minus 1, which is bigger? Now both 1 and 1 are the same. Then I have to compare -2 and -1. -2 is less than, therefore this happens. This is the dictionary order. Okay, this is called dictionary order. If you want Latin, because many times people always want to. One way to kind of intimidate people is use some words which people don't understand, like supremum, infimum, lexicographic order. Yeah. Dictionary order, all of us will understand easy. How many have understood this? Quick. Now, do you realize that your basic idea about order itself is very bad? Okay, or lacking, very weak. That's why you have problem. Not topology. Perhaps not. So I think those who are not responding, I'm going to remove from the lecture. I hope you don't mind. Okay. Because it's slowing me down and slowing others also down. Ragini, but you are not responding. So 4 people are removed. Okay. Is that clear to all? Now, as I said, what are the important example? R with a natural number. Okay. Then R cross R with a dictionary order. Okay. There is one more important example which I want to look at. Let us look at closed interval 0, 1 with the standard order. That is when I say X is less than Y as real numbers. Okay. This is another X example. Okay. And the last example is lexicographic or dictionary order on 0, 1 cross 0, 1. So these are the important example for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's it. If you learn these examples well, almost all of the anything to do with order, total order, you will understand better. Right? Now, do you see what is the difference between, okay, R and N with respect to order? How many of you understand the difference between R and N? Quick. See, 1 in N has a special role because anything is less than or equal to any element of N is less. Okay. 1 is less than or equal to any element of N. Do you understand that? Whereas in R, I don't have any such thing. But let us look at 0, 1. This is still different from N. Why? You give me any X here, 0 is less than or equal to X. And give me any X, X is also less than or equal to 1. Do you understand? There are two special elements here, 0 and 1. Do you understand this? Yes or no? Okay, if you understand, be ready for the next question. Now let's look at 0, 1 cross 0, 1. Okay, with the dictionary order. I will not say hereafter. Okay, with the is there any two elements which are special here? Quick. Yeah. Ragini, what are the special elements? 0,
Common.
this is a special element.
Yes.
Aha. How many of you agree with her? I'm clearing everybody. How many of you agree with Ragini? This is a special element. Archana, I had already asked you. Just I will ask somebody else. Okay. Yeah. Akila, why? What are your special elements, Akila?
Ordered per 0,
So is that
0 and ordered per 1.
Ordered per. You said only 1.
0, 0.
And?
Ordered per 0, 0 and ordered per 1, 1.
Ah, you didn't say the second one last time. Yeah. Why these are special elements? Now you give me any xy in this space X. Okay. Then what do I know? Let us look at 0, 0 and xy. Okay. Either they are equal, that means X equal to 0, Y equal to 0. Otherwise, okay. X is in 0, 1. Therefore, X is not equal to 0. That means this is strictly less than Y. I don't care what Y is. Okay. Do you understand? Therefore, this is less than or equal to for every X, Y. Because equality can hold. And similarly, now to start with any Y, X, Y. Now let's look at 1, 1. Okay. Now X is in 0, 1. Therefore, X must be less than or equal to 1. You understand? That's good enough for me. I don't care about the rest of the relations. Therefore, X, Y is less than. These are the two special elements. How many of you understand now? Yeah, okay. So in n, we saw there is only one special element. For example, if I take this 0, 1, and 0 is a special element. Whereas if I take 0, 1, these are subsets of R with standard order relation, then 1 is a special element. So what would you like to call these special elements? Can somebody come up with a word? So,
Minimal or maximal?
yeah, no, it's a minimum or maximum. Maximum, okay, any maximum is a maximal element. Any minimum is a minimal element. The converse is not true. Okay. Yeah, again, that's another problem with all of you because of partial order. So we say, suppose X, this is a totally ordered set. Okay. And I say an M in M is a minimum. Okay. Don't use the word minimal because X is already an element of X with what property? For every X in X, okay, either X equal to M or let me write M equal to X or M is strictly less than X. That is M is less than equal to X. This is what you call a minimum. Do all of you understand this? So what did you saw? What did you see? We saw 0 is a minimum for this one. And similarly, 0, 0 is a minimum for this one. Okay. These are all minimum elements. And similarly, what is our next concept? Maximum. Okay. 1 is the maximum for 0, 1. And 1, 1 is the maximum for 0, 1 cross 0, 1. Maybe I should write it I squared so that it will be easier, less time consuming. Do all of you understand? And 1 is a minimum for natural numbers. And R has no maximum, no minimum. Do all of you understand all these concepts? Quick. Good. Now I want to define, let's look at the natural numbers. Okay. Let me give 4 and 5 or 100 and 101. Okay. Do you understand what is meant by consecutive elements? Yeah. These are consecutive elements, right? So if I have a totally ordered set, okay, how do I define consecutive elements? When do I say X, let us say A and B are consecutive elements? Can somebody come up with a definition?
We're given A and B. So if A is less than B, then there exists another element C such that then there doesn't exist another element C such that A is less than C and C is less than C.
Very good. So can you make it better now? You are right. Who said it?
Swaroop.
Oh, Swaroop, right. That's a very correct definition. Okay. He says they are consecutive if there exists no X in X so that A is less than X and X less than B. So if such an X exists, what does it mean then? That means X belongs to the interval AB, right? You understand? Open interval AB, we already defined. Do you remember? So when do I say two elements are consecutive? I say A and B are consecutive if the interval AB is empty. That's it. The open interval AB is empty. How many of you understand this? Because if it's not empty, that means there exists an X so that A is less than X and X is less than B. Both, okay, one X which satisfies both the conditions. A should be less than X and X must be less than B. Do all of you understand this? Quick. Swaroop, do you understand? This is exactly what you wanted to say, right? Very good. Okay. Now tell me, Whether R has any consecutive elements? Does R have consecutive elements? Q? No. Whereas natural numbers, integers will have. Right? Now suppose I have X equal to, let us say, okay, this is a subset of R with a natural order relation. Okay. Are there consecutive elements in X? I'm clearing everybody. Yeah. Okay. This is a subset of R. I have a natural order. With respect to that, is there a consecutive element? Are there consecutive elements here? 0 to 1/3, half to 1. I'm really pitying all of your MSc students. Huh? Now you see that why I wanted your permission to publish this. Yeah. Sahil, what are the elements?
Say 1/3 and half.
Exactly. 1/3 is an element of, that is your A, B is half. There is no element in between. Right? You see that? Please think. Just to think about the kind of education you had so far. It didn't allow you to think. At best, it allowed you to verify. Okay, good. So these are the basic things I needed about order. That's it. With this, we are going to define order topology. Okay, so I am starting with X, a totally ordered set. Right? Now, I want to define a topology. Topology means I have to tell you what is a collection. So you must be an element of the power set. You must be a subset of X. When does U belong to this? You give me for any X in U, there exists AB in X with A less than B, so that X belongs to AB and AB is contained in U. Okay, this is not the correct definition, please. Okay, I have to refine it. Do you understand what does this remind you of? This is not correct. Okay, not correct yet. We have to do something more. Do you understand this? Does it remind you of something? How many of you understand this? Quick. See, I'm just simply mimicking the definition of topology on R with, okay. When do I say U subset of R is open? You give me any X, okay, there exists an X minus epsilon to X plus epsilon, okay, which is contained in U. You understand that? There is an open interval which has X and which is contained in U. That's all I needed. I'm just mimicking the definition. How many of you understand this? Now, do all of you understand at least this? Okay. Now there is a problem. How many of you can see a problem in this definition? Suppose let me take my X equal to, let us say, 0, okay, even 1 open, I don't care. This is with respect to standard order, okay, right? Now suppose I want to say this X itself, okay, I want to say the open, let us say 0 half. Is this open? If I want to say this open, what should I do? I have to find A, B in X, so that A must be less than A 0 and 0 must be less than B. You understand that? But A less than 0 is not admissible. Do you follow that? So to attend to elements of this kind and this, how many of you understood the problem? Let me ask, how many of you understood there is a problem? I'm clearing everybody. Please say again, how many of you understood? Okay, my earlier definition is not complete yet. Archana, what problem? See, let us look at, I gave this set U. I want to know that it's open. If it is open, then what do I have to check? For every element here, I can find an open interval AB, so that X must be in the open interval and the open interval must be contained in U. So 0 must be in the open interval. That means A must be less than 0 and 0 must. And A should be in X. That is, it should be in 0, 1. So if A is in the interval 0, 1, then A is already greater than or equal to 0. So this can never be true. So I cannot find such a thing. Okay. And similar case arises here. Suppose I have something like this. Okay. Now let me take half to 1. Now 1 is a problem because I have to find AB. So that what should happen? A must be less than 1 and 1 must be less than B. And where should A be? They should be in 0, 1. But that means B is already less than or equal to 1. So I cannot find. Okay. So this is absurd finding. So what we want to do is we have to add something more. What is that we have to add? We have to add in the topology, okay, U a subset of P of X, so that for every X in U, there exists AB in X, so that X belong to the open interval AB is contained in U. Or if X is a minimum, okay, I'll write m, small m for minimum, then there exists a B, so that X B is contained in, of course, X is here, X B is contained in U. And if X is maximum, can somebody say? Call it capital M. Then can somebody tell me what should be the condition? Quick.
B comma there exists.
Yeah.
There exists a C such
Let,
that.
let us use a word A. Okay. There is a
okay,
A.
okay.
In X,
Such
so
that
that
open A comma X closed.
yeah.
Enclosed. Yeah. X closed.
Let me call it capital M.
Contained.
Okay.
Yes. Capital M contained in U.
Do you understand this?
So
So
that should be U.
yeah, you are right.
Contained in.
Thanks. Yeah. So let us look at this example. So if the point X is not a maximum or minimum, what all I need is AB. Okay, this must be contained in U. If something like this is the minimum, then what I want is this kind of thing is contained in U. And if this is something like this a maximum, I want this kind of thing should be contained in U. Keep these kind of pictures in mind so that your life will be easy. That's why I gave these examples. The important examples are natural numbers and closed and finite intervals A, B with endpoints included or not included. The next thing is R cross R with the dictionary order and I cross I with the dictionary order. If you learn these examples, you can master. How many of you understood this example? I still have to prove it's a topology. I have not yet proved. Okay. So I only gave a condition. How many of you understood this? Very good. So we still have to say it's a topology. Okay, let us prove that. Is now a topology on X. If that's a topology, I will call it order topology. If it is, if so, yes, call it order topology. Yeah. Okay. Now, what are the things I have to check? Whether empty set belong to tau. That's okay. Why? Because you give me X, given any X in empty set, I have to do something. You can't give me, therefore, empty set is open. Do all of you understand this logic? See, how do you say empty set is a subset of any set? When do you say yes, A is a subset of B? If for every X in A, X must be in B. So when I say A is not a subset of B, what does it mean? Then there is at least one X in A such that X is not in B. Right? Now come back. I claim empty set is a subset of A. If it's not true, there exists an X in the empty set such that X is not in A. But you can't find an X in the empty set. You follow that? This is logic. You please look at my foundation lectures. I had given this. Okay. And capital X, does it belong to tau? The topology? Yeah. You can, if you want, you can always include that. Okay. Either. Okay. You can always be smart. Okay. Assume U is empty, U is X. Otherwise, something must happen. So that you don't have to worry about that. Okay. Now let me look at UI is a collection of elements. Then I have to say union UI isn't tau. But that's very easy, right? Suppose X belong to union UI. Let me assume X is not a minimum or a maximum. Minimum, maximum may not exist. Remember in R, if you look at this, minimum, maximum may not exist. 0 is not a minimum. You understand that? Open interval 0 infinity, positive real. 0 is not a minimum because minimum must be an element. Okay. Suppose X is not minimum, maximum, then what does it mean? Since X belongs to union UI, this means there is an I such that X belongs to UI. But UI belongs to tau, topology. What does that mean? There exists AB in X such that X belongs to AB and AB is contained in UI, but UI is contained in union UI. Okay. Therefore, arbitrary union of open sets is open. How many of you understand? Quick. If you understand, say yes. These are all very easy. Only 5. And suppose X is equal to minimum. Then I know, okay, since X belongs to union UI, then X belongs to some UI. And since UI is open, that is in the topology, there exists AB so that X, B, closed at X, open at B. This is contained in UI. That is contained in union UI. So again, similarly maximum, right? Okay. Now how about intersections? Suppose I have U, V belong to tau, U intersection V. Okay. So I will not, now let me take X equal to maximum. Okay. Suppose maximum may not exist. Okay. If X is neither maximum or minimum, the proof is very easy. Okay. Let me do one by one. Suppose X is not minimum, X is not maximum, then X belongs to this. That means what? There exists A1, B1, so that X belongs to this and contained in U. And similarly, A2, B2, that is contained in B. Right? Now, look at the picture. My A1, B1 may be this, and A2, B2 may be this, or A2, B2 may be this, or A2, B2 may be this. Any of the possibilities. You understand this? That is what we are claiming is A1, B1 intersection A2, B2 is again of the form A cross B. Okay, this intersection of intervals is intervals. So how will you take this? What will be your A? It must be minimum of maximum of A1 and A2. And B is minimum of B1, B2. Do all of you agree with that? Now you give me any X, then what does it mean? A1 is less than X and A1 is also less than A2. Therefore, A1 is less than A because A is the maximum of A1 and A2. Similarly, other things. Please verify these things. Okay. I'm sure all of you just like that, because from your response, I can see you do not know how to verify each and every small detail. And the teachers also say it's very easy to verify. They don't teach you how to verify. How many of you understood this? Quick. I already showed that. Okay. If X belong to this, implies X is less than A1. X belong to this means X is less than A2. Therefore, X must be less than maximum of A1 and 2. You understand that? Therefore, X belong to this. Therefore, X is less than A. And similarly, B. Okay. Right. And the same
Is
trick.
it less than X is less than A or A is less than X?
Sorry. Thank you. Right. So that means A, which is maximum of A1, A2, both are less than X. Right. Thank you. Similarly for B. Yeah. Good. So you are alert, Swarup. Good. How many of you understood, sir? So, right. Okay. Now suppose X equal to minimum. What do I know? Then X B1 and X B2. This is contained in U. This is contained in V. Therefore, can you think of your B so that XB is contained in U1 intersection U2? U intersection V? Quick. Aishwarya, what will be your choice of B?
Minimum of B1 comma B2.
Very good. Keep always the picture, you know this. Okay. I start with X. This may be B1 and this may be B2. Then I want both the intersection. It should be contained in U as well as B. Then you choose the minimum. Very good. Okay. So what have we shown now? We have shown that this tau is a topology called order topology. How many of you understood? Quick. There's a lot more I wanted to do, but order itself took a lot of time because people are not very confident about the notions. Okay, after almost an hour, I have arrived at order topology. Whereas I expected that within half an hour, I should be able to come to that, and so that I can produce a lot of good, interesting examples. Okay, that's all right, no problem. Let us do that. Okay, now let's look at all of you are watch my first 4 videos, right? The moment I introduce a topology X tau, what is the next first question I like to ask every time? Can somebody tell me? This is just a test because all of you said you will watch all the 4 videos. Yeah.
Given any point in X, we want to find the simplest or the
Right. Okay. Right.
open.
Right. Very good. Okay. Your most convenient open set I need, right? Let's look at the example. Okay. Now suppose I give a natural number with respect to the standard order and you give me an X in N. What's the simplest or minimal or what is it, smallest or okay, obvious open set containing X in the order topology? Can somebody tell me? Quick. What is it I have to look at? See, in the order topology, first thing you should understand, forget about the open set. The simplest open sets are the form A comma B or minimum comma B or A comma maximum. These are the simplest sets. Do you understand that? So within that, is there anything simpler for in the case of natural number? That's how I should look at. Now I'm sure that all of you can come up with an answer. Can somebody tell me?
1 comma X closed 1 comma X.
Close to 1 comma X. And this X is also closed or open?
Closed.
Huh?
Closed.
It's closed. Then why should this be open? Because X is there.
Yeah. So open 1 comma X closed.
No, there is something.
Close X comma 1 plus X open.
Oh, closed X comma
1 plus X open.
that is X plus 1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but why should this be? Because for this X, I should find something, an interval in which it should be contained here, right?
So
Let me go slow. See, this is my 1. This is my 2. Wait. Yeah.
Sir, 1 comma X plus 1 closed, X plus 1 open,
1 closed.
X plus 1 open.
Yeah. This is an open set. This is correct. But is this the simplest open set?
Sir, we can take 2 cases. if X is the minimal element, that means
Exactly. The first thing is this fellow has a minimum, right? Not minimal element. Please don't say
Yes.
minimal. They are different.
Yes.
Okay. A minimum is always minimal. A minimal may not be a minimum. Right? You understand?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So anyway, so we should distinguish whether X is minimum or maximum. In this case, there is only minimum, namely 1, or X is not equal to 1. Right? If X is minimum, then what are the open sets? I have to take this something greater than, okay, a B which is greater than 1. Right? So suppose I take 2. This is the simplest one, right? This is the smallest one I can think of. Do you understand that? How many of you think of this? So what is the open set then? Containing 1, simplest open set.
Close interval 1.
Don't say 1. It's an element. You should say singleton. I'm asked to say open set, right? You should be a set. See, these are the things your teachers don't teach. So you should not even say 1. It should be singleton. You understand that?
Yes.
Now, suppose now let me assume my X is greater than 1. Look at the picture. I already draw the picture, convenient picture. Okay. Let me assume this is my okay, my X equal to N. What is the simplest open set containing this? I'm sure all of you should say that now, obvious. Yes. So my N is greater than or equal to 2 because I am assuming N is not equal to 1. Yes, Keka? Keka? Keka Das?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. What is that? Simplest open set containing X N which is greater than 1.
Sir, closed interval 1, comma X open interval.
See, that's not the simplest. That is yes. But that we already gave me. Do you remember? 1 to
Sir,
X plus 1.
singleton X.
Yes. See, that's why I asked small. There exists the smallest open set. Namely, take X itself. Because let us look at X minus 1. Remember, X is greater than or equal to 2. Therefore, X minus 1 is greater than or equal to 1. 2 X plus 1. Now I want, and this is also an integer. If you want, if it makes you happy, write it N. Okay. So N is greater than or equal to 2. Therefore, this is an integer. Positive integer. This is a positive integer. And the only integer in between this N. You understand? This is an open interval which contains N and it consists of only one element. So what is the topology, order topology on N? How many of you can say that quick? Archana, what is order topology on N?
Discrete topology, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Now do you understand how I look at the problems? Don't worry about the topology. Look for at a given element what are the possible simplest open set. So don't come with this kind of simple answers. Okay, this is a correct one, but that's not the one. I want a simpler, simplest, minimal or smallest. Okay, you have to keep probing. You have to ask questions. Is there something simpler? Then again, what did I do? I looked at this N has a something special element, namely minimum. Okay, now let's look at 0, 1. Okay, now suppose I take 0. What are the simplest open sets which contains this element with respect to order topology? Namely, anything of the form 0 epsilon. You understand? And there is nothing like simpler if you want anything of the form 0 to 1 by N. Okay, these are the typical open sets containing 0. Here, it will be 1 minus 1 by N. That is N minus 1 by N. These are the typical open sets. For them, this is very easy. Take any open interval around that so that this endpoint is not 0, this endpoint is not 1. That will do. Do all of you understand this? So the order topology on the closed interval 0, 1 is a subspace topology. Inherited from the usual topology on R. How many of you understand this? Quick. I'm clearing everybody. If you had understood this, now tell me, what is the order topology on R? So I have this, it keeps going everywhere. Start with any X. I have to find the simplest open sets which contain this X. And what are the simplest open set? Don't look for A, even there I define something. The open intervals AB, right? Therefore, the simplest open sets are going to be something of the form. This is nothing else than the open ball Bx1 upon n in the metric space with respect to the standard absolute value metric. Okay, therefore, the order topology on R is nothing other than the usual topology. Have you understood this? From the earlier example, it should be easier. I'm clearing everybody. How many of you understood? Okay. Here, I am going to ask an exercise which indirectly I used it. Suppose X is a totally ordered set, okay, and let A be in X with A less than B. Let us look at A comma B. Does it belong to tau, the order topology? The open interval which we have defined using order relation is this. How many of you can see that? It's a deceptively simple question, but you may not have thought of it earlier because I used it. I used anything of the open interval is an open set. So let me just say why the open interval AB is open set. Why is it in tau? That's because you give me any X. What am I supposed to do? I have to find A and B two elements, call it alpha and beta two elements, so that alpha is less than X and X is less than beta. I will simply take alpha equal to A and beta equal to B. You understand that? Therefore, any open interval by very definition is in tau. Do all of you agree with that? Okay. Now it's unfortunate. I do okay. My thing is now start working. This is the crucial point I wanted to explain, because once you had understood, then your understanding of order topology will be complete. Okay. So since there is some problem for me, let me just stop sharing. Okay. So see, my tablet is not working. I do not know what to do. Okay. So let us take the closed square 0, 1 cross 0, 1. Right? What are the special elements for which you would like to know the simplest open sets? So once we understand, I will stop the lecture. I would like to draw the picture. It's unfortunate. I'm unable to do that. How many of you understand my question? I'm taking 0, 1 cross 0, 1. Think of it as a closed square. Draw a picture in your notebook. And what are the points there with respect to order topology? I would like to find the simplest or minimal or typical open neighborhoods of that point. What are the important points you would like to look at? Quick. Okay. Yeah, can somebody tell me?
0, 0 and 1, 1.
That they are the simplest one because they are minimum and maximum, right? Apart from that,
Sir, the points whose x coordinate is 0.
X coordinate is 0.
or
What?
y coordinate is 0.
Right. So the top side, take any point in the top side and take any point in
Yes,
the
sir.
bottom side.
Downside. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So that's a very good guess. So let us look at. So the point will be 0, 0 or 0, 1, right? Or 1, 0 or 1, 1, or I can take some point in between also, right? In the bottom, that will be, let us say, half 0. Above will be half 1. Okay, these are the points I would like to look at, the simplest open sets. Do all of you agree with that? That's what she said. Okay, instead of the entire upper side and lower side, I'm talking bottom and top side, I'm taking specific points. In each other side, there are 3 points. You can see that, right? And any other point also. Okay, now let me ask a thing. What's the simplest open set containing 0, half? So I have the square. Okay, I will draw the picture from your side. This is 0, 0, 0, 1, and this is 1, 0, 1, 1 from your side. Okay, I have 0, 0, and 0 half, and 1, 0, 1. So 0 half, what is the typical open set containing 0 half? Can somebody tell me? Yes, Aishwarya? Yeah. Aishwarya? Keka?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, quick.
0, 0 and 0, 1.
That's what I say. That's not the simplest. You see that? It's exactly like last time. Close interval 1 to x in the natural numbers. That's not the simplest one, right? Always think. See, think of this. So let me look at, okay, this is 0, 0, this is 0, 1, this is 0 half. Okay, so what do I want? I want an open interval containing this point. Okay, so when I take a comma b, right, what should it be? So,
Sir, 0, 1 by 2 is contained in 0, 1 by 2 minus 1 by n.
Yeah, so right. So for example, you're right. Very good. So this is 0, half. So I can take 0, 1 by 3 and 0, 2 by 3. Do you understand? It's in the same strip. Okay, I am taking this is 0 half. I'm taking this. Do all of you understand this? And all the points are there. Have you understood? Yeah, isn't it easy? Whereas if I take 0, 0, then the whole thing should be in the square. Therefore, it should be 0, 0 to 0, epsilon. That's it. 0, 1 by n. There is 0, 0 to 0, 1 by n. So in the same vertical line, I can go up to 1 by n. That's it. Do all of you agree these 2 points? Quick. I'm clearing everybody. Yes? Very good. Now comes the problem. Now let's look at it. 0, 1. Okay, I don't want to touch the tip, so let me just, but then if it falls, the tip will get spoiled. Either, yeah, this is better, yeah. So this is 0, 0, this is 0, 1. So what are the natural simplest open sets containing 0, 1? If you had understood, then you are ready for order topology. After that, anything you can do. I can keep on asking similar questions, but the thinking will be clear with this example. So I have, this is 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, and the square goes like this. So what are the simplest open sets? Now notice that here I have to look at some a, b, which is less than 0, 1. You understood that? Therefore, a has to be less than or equal to 0. That's the only way out. Therefore, I can take a to be 0. And here it's 1, 0, 1. Therefore, I can take something like 0, n minus 1 by n. That is 1 minus 1 by n. Do all of you understand this? Say that. That's where I know if I can draw the picture, it will have been easier, but unfortunately, the whole thing is failing. Let me again try. No, see, very bad. Do all of you agree with that? So the right hand endpoint interval can be of the form 0, 1 minus 1 by n. And this is my 0, 1 is sitting here. But then I have to go beyond that, right? Then I have to look at a c, d so that 0, 1 should be less than C comma D. Do you understand that? Okay, 0 comma 1 less than C comma D. So what does it say about C? It should be strictly positive. Do you understand why? Remember, C must be in the interval 0, 1. I want 0 comma 1 should be strictly less than C comma D. Therefore, C is already greater than or equal to 0. Right? If it is equal to 0, then what will it mean? That D must be greater than 1. That cannot happen because D also should be in 0, 1. How many of you understand my logic? Please think. Don't just listen to my English words.
Yes.
Okay. Are you confident now? 0 comma 1 should be less than C comma D. Right? Now C must be greater than or equal to 0. Do all of you understand? Right. So maybe C is 0. Fine. But then D must be strictly greater than 1. Can it happen? No. Because D has to lie in the open closed interval 0, 1. Therefore, D cannot be greater than 1. Therefore, the only way out is C must be 0. How? Sorry, C must be greater than 0. How many of you understand this logic? Think carefully. Okay. Therefore, C must be greater than 0. But what is D? D could be anything. I don't care. Do you understand? Now there is a problem. I have here 0 comma 1 from your side. Okay, this is 0 comma 1. My C is positive. This is C positive. Okay, in the side C is positive. Therefore, C comma D, D could be anything. So it can, let us say D is something. Okay, some y-axis. Okay, C, D. Now notice that all the points in between also should be there. Can you picturize that? So if you want to think of it, okay, this is 0 comma 1. This is okay. This is something like, let me have a smaller one. Yeah. Okay. This is my C comma D. C comma D stop here. Right. Now in between all these things, okay, they are all greater than 0. Therefore, they will also be in the interval. Therefore, when I take 0 comma 1 and after that every lines, vertical line which falls in the square up to C comma D, I'll come to C comma D and then go that. So the picture will look like this. So 0 comma 1, start from here and put an open interval, start and then keep on drawing all the lines and then come to SC which is positive and D somewhere stop this open interval. How many of you can picture what I did? If my tablet is available, I would have drawn the picture. Please think, don't be in a hurry. Now do you see why one should draw picture? Many teachers only think writing notes is good enough. This is very bad. Let us say start with a simple example. Okay, let's assume C has to be greater than 0. Let us say 1/3. It does not matter. Okay, something. Okay, call it if you want epsilon, but we let it call it for definiteness sake 1/3. Is that okay? D can be anything. I don't care. D is some real number between 0 and 1. Now 1 comma 3 comma D is strictly greater than 1 comma 0. Sorry, 0 comma 1. Do all of you agree with that? 0 comma 1 is strictly less than 1/3 comma D. D I don't care. You understood? Okay. Now take 1/10 comma 7. 1/10 comma 7/10. Does it lie in the interval or not? You see that any x which is less than C, I don't care what is that y, okay, that entire line should be there. You understand? This is 0, 0. This is my 1/3. Now start with any x in between 0 and 1/3. The entire line must be there because the entire line will have x coordinates strictly less than x. Therefore, the entire line should be in the interval. How many of you understood this? Now, at least 2 or 3 said no, you did not understand. Now, do you see that? Draw picture. Please draw picture on your thing. I am unable to do, you should do. I have 0, I have 1/3. Now take any x, the entire vertical line should be there. There is no way out because all of them will have x coordinate less than 1/3. Therefore, in the interval, everything should be there. So I will have something like here. I will go up to 0, 1 and keep on drawing and then stop somewhere here. And how will it come? It will come, then it has to go like this. Okay, from the bottom line should be there. Are you following? In by 1 by 3. So I have 1 by 3, and there I have to climb up because y coordinate will keep increasing. So I have to put here. Okay, that's how the pictures will look like. So I will stop the thing. If you want, you just send me an email. We will continue with the second lecture somewhere. I hope the tablet will help. Please revise. Okay. And if you had understood this particular thing itself, you don't need me. Okay. You can do on your own. Okay. Thank you all. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I will be uploading after a few days. Okay. Please write your comments so that you know how it went. Okay. So that I will come to know. Okay. Will you do that at least?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
then.
sir.
Thank you. So if you need some more extra thing on this, another possibly about 45 minutes must be do. If you want, please let me know. I'll continue next weekend or some other day. Okay, that's it. Thank you all. You may leave.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can I make a comment?
Yes.
Sir, I heard that you taught in MCTS to Arijit Ganguly the chain rule in just in orally, right? So
Yeah. You saw a test of it today.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So here today I have to draw picture in hand. There I have to do inequalities. At least here picture you can imagine, right? I already
Yes,
this
sir.
is 0, 0, this is 1/3. Therefore, everything here for any XB, the entire straight line, vertical
Yes,
line
sir,
should
yes,
be there. Whereas there inequality, lot of inequalities also.
Yes.
Yes, see the point is I can do it with only students like you also. That's also important, right? Some people don't want to think, then they will have problem. Yeah. That's
Yes,
why I slowly prepared the ground from the beginning itself. I wanted you to think along with me so that life becomes easy. I hope all of you enjoyed. Okay. I really wanted to give good examples because I don't know. It's once this particular one, if they understood, I think you can do order topology very easily. But anyway, there will be some weak students, so I may have to repeat something more. I'll do it in the next lecture if necessary. Otherwise, I'll record separately. Okay. Thank you, Swarup. And I really love your time stamping. They're beautiful. It also shows that you first understand, then only you second time you revise.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Time stamping. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Keep
you,
it up.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, sir.
Yeah, bye. I have some work. I will. Okay. I'll end the meeting.
Okay,
all of
sir.
you. Okay. Please do send your comments and email. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Yeah.